Well, hello and welcome to the Allotment virtual tour. My name's Paul Collin, I'm head teacher of City Academy Norwich, and I thought I'd put this little virtual tour together for you to just show you what we have done thus far with our allotment, and of course the help and support of the Papillon Project, Matt Willer and his team. As you can see, our allotment is in progress. It's by no means finished, but recently we have had a number of things kind of pop up and be installed, one of which is this very nice little entrance into our allotment. And as you can see, we've sort of gone for a more substantial gating stroke fencing area, and there are reasons for that which I'll talk about in a short while. We've got this lovely open pathway as we come in, and the team has planted a lot of little mini trees which we were very kindly donated. We've got this beautiful large area to my right, which we're hoping at some point we'll be able to get some sort of vehicle in there that will allow us to have a kind of place for people to kind of inform and keep wellies and things like that. And then as we walk down the main pathway, we're coming into the bulk of the allotment. So I think one of the things we've done, and as you can see in the distance there, is use a lot of reclaimed wood to create a lot of our beds, and there's many things that are growing in there, and I'll show you in just a second. We've used, as you would expect, lots of reclaimed items like toilets and sinks and cisterns. These are empty at the moment, but lots of soil in there, ready for things to be planted. Some of the first things that went in were the potatoes, and you can see there is a vast amount of potatoes there. We've got things like lights, kind of covers for some of the beds. There's a bath underneath there to keep the plants protected. And as we walk around, you can see there's a lot of things that are starting to grow up, and we're kind of, beginning of May now. So when we started this about 3 months ago, this project took off. We've done a lot, I think, if you look towards the distance there, making these beds substantial in terms of what is now growing in them. More potatoes. We're working on a nice little kind of edging to our allotment, and that's been made out of some of our old tabletops, which we don't use anymore. These cloches that have got underneath them some aubergines just there, and they're just old light tops which were from our main school, which are no longer being used. Excuse my shadow in the distance there. Nice sunny day that it is. We've got some raw beans, some more potatoes, and we had loads and loads of disused tables. So what we've done is taken the tops of those tables off and use them underneath here, like I said, but also use the actual frames to build a frame to put our netting over to ensure that the plants are safe. And we've got some sweet peas down there, normal peas, winter peas, and on this side likewise some more peas as well. Over here, using our big tyres, we've got a number of different things that are growing, some borage, some comfrey and rhubarb, some flowers, etc. But again, just using these tyres to separate off and make different containers. We've got another bed down there with some rhubarb, which is all good. And as we walk along here, you can start to see how things are evolving. We'll talk about the polytunnel in a minute, in different ways. So, reclaimed logs there to make a slightly shallower bed. In the distance, we've got more beds that are being constructed. To my right, we've got a nice bean construction there, just using the old wood from a forest that we've got on site. And we've just planted up some runner beans, or the young people have planted up some runner beans today. Obviously slightly different to normal school in that we're currently in lockdown, but we do have about 17 young people who are working hard to keep the allotment underway. And as you can see, we're in the process of building some more frames. We've got this old kind of tubing that came from when the polytunnel was installed, actually, and we're going to be making a frame with that. Going around this way and just showing you some of the other work that's gone on. We were lucky, we had a huge amount of soil, which we dug up some old beds that were at the other end of the school and used that. And we've created this kind of fence out of old pallets, which kind of is starting to be painted nice bright colours. Matt brought some beautiful paint along for the young people to start doing that, really vibrant, and that's great. And that leads through a little gate that the young people have built to our orchard, which is being established out the back here, and I'll show you that in a second. Our bug house is in construction, and then all of these new beds are going to be for herbs and some other shallow plants. In the distance, as I said here, we've got some very kindly donated apple trees and fruit trees, which are thriving, which is great. And around the back here, we've also got our recyclables and composting areas and things that are starting to be put together there for our compost, which is excellent. Just again made out of pallets, an old cage there with some bits that we're saving for other things. We've got an old door, we're going to make a cold frame out of that, and then around here likewise a bigger composting area or compost area. We're going to have some farmers going to deliver some mushroom compost there very shortly, and we've already had very kindly donated a huge pile of manure. And in the distance you can see, hopefully it looks like giant molehills and some wooden poles and framing. That's going to become this area here with this mound and up to our main fence here, including this gate as well. That's going to become our chicken and livestock area, which is going to be installed soon, next week actually. You can see all the tables around the back here that are waiting to be used, which have been dismantled. And then we were really lucky in the sense that we were donated some money to use to gain and have installed a polytunnel, and our polytunnel is huge. It's 24 foot by 90 foot polytunnel. It's installed by First Tunnels, and you can see we've got a lot of space at the moment, and we are probably slightly overwhelmed by the amount of space that we have got, but we're starting to think about how we can use it. It's got a full irrigation system. We've been kindly donated a wealth of tools, and there's our welly buckets and netting that we've got. And we're starting to think about chicken shed being built, but about growing things. And we have put together first beds that have gone in today actually. We've worked with the young people to put in these beds, and inside very kindly donated again from Matt and the team from the Papillon Project, through the work that the connections they've made with the Bishop's Garden. The Bishop has donated these plants, wonderful, and nicely mulched on the top, or ready for mulching, are some grass clippings there from things that have been gathered together. So that's our allotment. I hope that was a useful little tour, and you know, anytime that anyone's interested in wanting to get in touch, please do. We'd love to have you once we are fully open again after the lockdown. You can email the Papillon Project team to liaise with that, or indeed email office@cityacademynorwich.org, and we'd be more than happy, in fact delighted, to hear from you and support you in any way we can. Take care, and we'll, I'm sure, see each other or speak soon.